And welcome back. Just had my coffee, my damn cigarette, and yes, my brother took my mom out for dinner last night. Well, brought it to her. And there was a salad sitting in the fridge. Didn't want that, so I made it a super salad. And I wanted to do a relationship reading here. And while I'm thinking about it, I've thought about this a lot. You know, any of us just need one person to love our whole lifetime. And really, it has to be number one, right? But you can't, like, there's a limit to that. I mean, how much love can you give yourself that you couldn't give to everyone else, too, right? Well, and then the idea of marriage. Well, there's this thing that's been danced in all the religions and cultures and such about, but nobody's quite figured it out yet. And it takes a special kind to be able to pull it off. Not that I sway one way or another on this subject, because any dream come true is a nightmare in itself. But how do I put it? One wife is exactly enough and just right. But women need other women. But the problem is the other women get in the way of the relationship. Then there's children. Dad serves a certain purpose. It has to hold everything together. And men, naturally, even if you have the best, the hottest, greatest wife in the world or whatever, there's that wandering eye, right? And then sometimes your wife's pregnant, sometimes not. Sometimes, like, and so it almost makes sense to have multiple wives. I personally, just in my wildest dreams, I can't imagine more than three. Three would be a perfect number. All in the same house. You got 4 adults, and you got lots of kids. I'm only gonna live so long. This is my one lifetime. So in an ideal world, I suppose, I would have 3 wives. We'd all live together, and we would have some kind of schedule, and obviously it would depend on how we all work together, right? And then but in America, it's illegal to have more than one wife. But then there's guys that go around and sleep with everyone and have kids, all these baby mamas, baby daddies, and the kids are the ones that lose out. To have multiple parents, then that really opens things up, where the children get the greatest benefit. The women have each other, and they have one man they can count on. And his hands are full. He has more than enough abundance. Anything he needs done? Yeah, I'm there. But then, how would you overcome the legal part? Well, it's easy. For one, you have family business in your name. It doesn't matter if anybody steals this from me, because this is about my dream. And so anybody else could do it. Fuck, who cares? I'm talking about me and my family. And then, if you want to make it official, I mean, ideally, you come together more or less at one time. It'd be best. Or within a short period of time, within a year. And then, sequentially, marry the other 2 wives or bridesmaids. And then consummate it, baby. Then it doesn't matter either way, because it's all about the structure of the family and owning what you got. Then you divorce, and then, but nothing changes. The family still is the family unit. Then you remarry, you consummate, you make a baby, then you divorce. And then the third, all within a year. Family structure's there. And then, even to make it equal, a divorce. Or however it's going to work, whoever's going to be the head wife. But it's tied under a business. So all are partners. And it could all be worked out in a legal agreement where it's a structure. If any wife wants out, then, just talk about it. Well, there's nothing to hide. And what's the benefit of separating from that kind of structure? There isn't any. You have one house with 4 incomes. Each wife has her children to claim as her own, but it's within the business, within the family unit. And then there is always some kind of routine that can be worked out. Somebody's sick, or, homeschooling, or whether they're all going to public school. How that's all being insured under the business. And the business being the structure of the dead body, meaning society, supporting the traditional family tree of adults working together for the greater good of the future. And the weakest link being the man, having to hold up the strong end of the agreement. If anything happens to him, then of course, then it changes it. But then that's in the agreement, in the business structure, in order to create a personal family legacy and an abundance to move forward without cheating anybody, and for the greatest abundance of the family, especially if the individual businesses are worked together into a corporation. There's one fantasy that's absolutely plausible, legal, and straightforward, and supports all parties. Because what's the jealousy? There's always someone to talk to. There's always new things to work on. You want to do decorations? Shit. 4 adults, 3 women, that we can decorate the shit out of the place. All the kids in the neighborhood want to come over because, well, it's the coolest family on the block, in the town. A model for all families, whether there's 2 parents or single parents. So that's one of my great fantasies. But hell, I'd just be happy to go on a fucking date and get some cuddles in. Touch a boob. Damn. I don't need all that. So I want to do a relationship reading. Oh, damn. These cards are flying out too fast. What we got here? I'm taking these. Holy shit. It shows the movement of balancing opposites within each themselves for the greater good of the unit. Turning away from the selfishness of balancing of competition and letting go of control in order to maintain control, as I was just describing. Continually putting in the hard work for the family and structure as single units for the whole unit. Man, imagine the credit with 4 people and a business for each under a corporate, individual, business, individual, personal, all in one pyramid, all the kids taken care of, hands down, so they don't have to go through the same shit that I have and so many other children in order to have this king of cups with the empress. Always abundance in the house. There's always someone maybe that's pregnant. There's always something to be excited about. You see who's calling. Nobody ever calls me. Nothing. Bill collectors, when they know I made a money and all their money they bought from somebody else. How does that work? You borrow money based upon your body is the only thing that's worth anything, and your credit. They don't have anything. They get you to sign over your name. Now they have all your money, but they gave it to you from nothing. Then you owe them back plus extra. And they had nothing, and they got your something. And if you don't pay it, then they sell it to somebody else that has nothing. And then that person comes and attacks you to get something. But then they bought debt. So they paid for trash in order to get something extra in hopes that they could get you to pay them instead of paying the other one that you got the loan from based upon you. And they had nothing. The bank has shit. It has nothing. How does that work? So, this Empress and this King of Cups. You know, I try not to think about Jesus too much. That's the furthest thing from my mind has been since the day I was born into this, my first breath on this earth. But one thing always gets me, it shows this picture of him sitting there with a whole bunch of kids and him telling stories. And nobody read me stories as a child. I want 20 kids to be saying, "That's my dad. Dad's home." I look forward to that. Because I've only raised other men's kids, and they were the best off when they were with me. And then they just went back to, well, now they're stuck. Now they're like in a row of where they were and away from the abundance and just trained into a box. And as soon as I was out of the picture, then now there's no competition. Now there's no fight. Nobody cares. It was only when I was there that it all mattered. Everybody's got to be a man. Everybody's got to be the man. We got to show off. You got to compete. Oh, now he's gone. Yeah, fuck it. Who cares? It was just about competing. Nobody cared about the kids. Nobody cared about love, relationships. It was only when Josh was there. Then they had to be something. They did poorly. We got North Node. Life's purpose. North Node just passed something or other 51 minutes in the last 24 hours. It's retrograde. I guess the North Node. It's funny how it goes in retrograde, but it's the North Node. So how does that ever change? But every 18 months, it goes from retrograde to regular grade. And if you didn't know, the retrograde has to do with, so the planets are moving around the sun, right? Well, some planets out here are moving slower. So as the planet we're on the inside, as we get to a certain spot going around, then the planet that's out here moving looks like it starts going the opposite direction, and then it goes back, and then it goes forward and back, and that's because we're going around, and then all of a sudden, on the opposite end, it's like we're coming at it, and so then it looks like it reverses temporarily until we cross paths again, and then it goes straight, and so that's what retrograde is. Where planets appear to be moving backwards, but they didn't change their speed or their distance or any of that shit. It's all about perspective. So we got Virgo and Saturn here. The Saturn return, I was just talking about retrograde, and Virgo. I analyze. Let me give me one more of these. Ooh. This card comes up a lot. Fifth house, creativity. No, yeah. I know, it's a pretty weird relationship conversation, right? But, the confines of the mind and the structure of society is based upon protections and limitations in order to guide everyone. But at the same time, to allow freedom, which means there's a way to get what you want if that's really what you want. There's no reason to cheat, lie, steal, hurt anyone else to get it. That's just asinine. It's a waste of your life and everyone else's. This is the trust and niggle. What's the niggle trying to tell you? What's that feeling tell you? You can't trust anyone that's not as honest as I am. And if you're not riding my car with me, then you're probably riding with some people who are going to turn on you, stab you in the back, let's get them chained down. And then that makes you both party to the crime of being untrustworthy and being in fear. We got the pillar of light, the vibrations rising. We got these two yesterday in the age of light. We've been training for this for lifetimes. Let's get one more. Since all three of those came out yesterday. What's something new? All fucking same ones. Don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light to fit in? Are you trying to meet what everybody else will think about the situation? Or are you going to be honest with yourself and others? I know that I'm going to have to be honest with myself and others, especially if I'm already under scrutiny all the time. Anything I say and do, will, can, and always is used against everyone. While they hide me and hide behind me and try to stand in front of me to get all the shine. Let's get a rune. We got grace and mercy. Hallelujah. One more rune, please. Oh, we got two. We got creativity and originality. Going with that fifth house. We got courage and fortitude. Who's backing down? Turned down for what? I want my kids, my wife or wives. I want my relationships to be the most important thing in my life. I want to wake up and see the people I love every day. And still not be like, oh, okay, now he's got who he needs. Now he doesn't need the rest of us. Fuck that. I need all of you. If you needed somebody, then I'm here. At least in spirit. You can check in. It's better than seeing what Gene Simmons is doing in Ozzy around their house. I mean, not that that's not cool, but see, there's all those reality shows. But this is reality. And this is the show. We're doing it. Where's the niceties and all that? Oh, shit. God dang, that's too much shit. Well, 3 cars came out. We got Mary Nazareth, the Mother of God. I'm blessed. My courage gives birth to the divine. We had Mary Magdalene. And we got Shekinah. The divine, the presence of the divine feminine. That's what I got wherever I go. So what's a man if he can't stand up for everyone? And what's a mother if she doesn't nurture and include everyone as part of her family? You have a bunch of wild children, savages that think they know stuff. I will learn love because I know everything else. But that's a handle that everyone else is at, trying to learn love in the presence of it and trying to express it apart from it. If this isn't love, I don't know what is. All right. I want to get, for a Dr. Pepper fan out there, I want to get 3 cards about her and 3 cards about me and 2 cards about the situation. No, I want to change that. 2 cards about her, 2 cards about me, and 3 about the situation. So let's do that. 1 for her and 2 for her. Oh shit. There's the 3 we got earlier. Now came in reverse. Damn. Huh. That tells me something. Let's move on here. Yeah, that card looks like her. Okay, 2 for me. Or maybe this is for you and your counterpart. Or someone on your mind. And then the same other 3 cards came out. What the hell? Just a snake's eating its tail. Ouroboros. All right, we're not taking these universals. So I'm seeing a fine lady here. Got all these pentacles on her desk. And a couple bearskin rugs. She must be a hell of a huntress. In this 9 of Cups here. The weird thing is the gentleman up here in the front is standing there with her, but he's looking off to the side. Who the hell is he looking at that's over here? And what are all these pentacles on her table for? What's that about? Why she got the Magician in reverse? For the feminine there. And for this masculine, I'm wondering why he's got this Knight of Swords in reverse. Instead of barging in, he's like, yeah, I got this sword in my spine, and I got the shield up, and I'm protecting it, a home out here in the wasteland by myself. He's on the battlefield, but laid up. And this chariot in reverse, the two rams, but instead of, he didn't go nowhere. He's just holding down the spot. And she can conjure up anything she wants, other than she's got herself. She's got everything she needs. And just, it's a good flow. And then what's she manifesting? If she already has everything she needs, what's missing? And what's she selling? And who's she selling it to? For what for? Those are questions. I'm not going to read it. Just leave it at that. And what they have between the two of them is interesting that it balances out here. We have these three cards that perfectly go together. Of this balance between them. We have this this 5 of cups over here. There's these two lovers. You got 3 cups in front of them and 2 behind, but they're facing opposite directions. Then over here, we have the 2 of cups, and they're embracing in a celebration between just enjoying each other's company. And then in the middle, we have this 4 of wands of the agreement and a pact and a structured home, a friendship, a foundation to move forward upon. Together that adds up to 11. 20. If we count this, we got 11 in the middle. We got 10 on one side, on her side. And I guess a knight, you could call it an 11 card. 11, and so the masculine's got 17. She's got 10. We got 11 in the middle. And what's that together? We got 27, 38, 2, 38. Interesting. Something to think about. You know, I've never been a fan of Dr. Pepper. It's not that it's not good. I mean, pop's good. Caffeine's good. All right. What does the world think about it? What kind of structures and problems would this relationship come up against in the world? Or benefits? Being the center of attention, and the attention being off of the center. Kind of like the whole reversal of like Gene Simmons, he's in Kiss. Ozzy, he's in Ozzy. Oh, but this is their home life. You know, this is what they're like at home and what they discuss. Only the inverted of that. Each day wondering, okay, where's this going to go? Well, if they're leading the rest of us, then, well, there's a good gauge and a meter to go on. And something to build towards each day. when a relationship has to work on itself, its partnership, and the duality of everyone else while holding it down as a couple and an individual and embracing the whole. There's room for a lot of growth and structure while being free of structure, being able to do things apart and separate and together with all and apart from it all. Moving away from the lack, that the world is in lack. And it just has to do with changing the perspectives of others and seeing that anything's possible. That there's no reason to envy somebody else's situation. Not really. Because if anybody else had the idea, well, then why can't you do the idea? Unless you don't want to, which that's a perfectly good reason not to. If you don't want to, then don't. Because everyone has to, right? Two of what? Two minds trying to work the same body. So we got the hangman in reverse. And that frees up a lot of space in the collective for things to move around instead of everybody being stuck out in the cold as the abundance, almost like the ego, apart from the ego, leading without having anywhere to go, making oneself better in order to appear better, or being the one that's down, raising up others that are down at the same situation. Followed by, a whole shitload of major arcana. Being able to overcome everyone's three swords. Having abundance and being able to bend that abundance for all others. In both the Knight of Cups and the Empress. To have the constant tit for tat game of some sort of competition or, friendly wise, of seeing how one could get it to work. As in this Five of Wands. Definitely the Lovers, but the Lovers card is overseen where the lovers are naked. My bad. And by the Temperance Angel. There's all these YouTube videos where you can look up women's boobs, but then, you can't show a cartoon card with a naked guy and boobs? What kind of duality shit is this? And then each can sail away from this together as an individual, where all of our swords put up are not needed. And they're already on deck. Our bundle of joy, the one we're protecting, ourself and those we love, is with us. And we can make our way each day untouchable. Because, and that's a 6 along with the Lovers. Stand in this King of Swords power of one abundance. An openness of a pride, but without excessive pride. Standing in lack, but what is lack if everything one says and does can be held against you? Then you might as well say and do as you please, without being negative to others, without bringing others down. Because each will bring themselves down based upon how they see something, like thinking, oh, well, I got this check coming in the mail. And then they see something on TV, oh, those checks have been delayed. So it's each within their own mind, overcoming the lack individually. Let's get one more card. Let me get two more cards. One for Cherry Coke and one for Dr. Pepper. Well, let me see what this is here real quick. Well, the two cards that we're left with already came up for Cherry Coke and Dr. Pepper. And it works out to VIV. Or once again, 11. We got the Lovers. The Lovers covered their body parts. And the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands here signifies a posse of youths are brandishing stabs as if in sport or strife. It is a mimic, warfare, and hereto correspond the there's a typo in this, to the divinatory meanings. It's about imitation. For example, a sham fight, the strenuous competition and struggle of the search after riches and fortune. Hence, some attributions say that it is the card of gold, gain, and opulence, where there's enough, such as nobles. Nobles don't go to war, but they practice all of the aspects of war. Tigger. And so I'll leave that with you for now. I'll be back shortly. I'll be doing this all day. We work out the future, where we might be moment to moment in the now, and we talk this out.